Well, open it, can you?
Howdy.
What do you want?
Done got through my business up here at the house. Just thought I'd pay a call. You got a gun, I see.
Good on Colt 45.
What do you do with that?
Shoot things.
Oh. Hey, that there pink picture. Why, that's a naked woman, ain't it?
Your eyes don't lie to you.
Plumb stark naked as a jaybird. No, she ain't. Not quite. Got a couple of thingamabobs tied onto her.
Shucks, there ain't a thing to what I got here. Look at that top one.
Well, I'll go blind. That'd give me ideas, that would.
That's a dinger, that is.
Yeah, that sure is a dinger. Hey, that's a good-looking rope you got there. I bet that would spin nice. Hey, you know Will Parker? Now, he can sure spin a rope. Strong hook you got there. Why, you could hang yourself on that, Judd.
I could what?
Hang yourself. It'd be as easy as falling off a log. Fact is, you could stand on a log or a chair. Right about here, see? You put this here around your neck and, well, tie that good up there first, of course. Then all you'd have to do would be to fall off the log or the chair, whichever one you'd rather fall off of. And in 5 minutes or less, with good luck, you'd be dead as a doornail.
What do you mean by that?
And then folks would come to your funeral and sing sad songs.
Nah.
They would. You never know how many people like you till you're dead. You'd probably be all laid out in the parlor. You'd be all decked out in your best suit with your hair combed down slick and a high starched collar.
Would there be any flowers, you think?
Sure would. And palms, too, all around your coffin. And then the folks would stand around you, and the men would bare their heads. The women would sniffle softly. Some would probably faint. The ones that had took a shine to you when you was alive.
What women that took a shine to me?
Lots of women. Only they don't come right out and show you how they feel, less'n you die first.
Yes, that's so.
They sure would sing loud, though, when the singing started. Sing like their hearts would break. Poor Judd is dead, poor Judd Fry is dead. All gather round his coffin now and cry. He had a heart of gold and he wasn't very old. Oh, why did such a feller have to die? Poor Judd is dead, poor Judd Fry is dead. He's looking oh so peaceful and serene.
And serene.
He's all laid out to rest with his hands across his chest. His fingernails have never been so clean. And then the preacher'd get up and he'd say, folks, we are gathered here today to moan and groan over our brother Judd Fry, who hung himself up by a rope in the smokehouse. Then there'd be some weeping and wailing from some of those women. Then he'd say, Judd was the most misunderstood man in the territory. People used to think he was a mean, ugly feller, and they called him a dirty, rotten skunk and an ornery pig stealer. But the folks that really knowed him know that beneath them two dirty shirts he always wore, there beat a heart as big as all outdoors.
As big as all outdoors.
Judd Fry loved his fellow man.
He loved his fellow man.
He loved the birds of the forest and the beasts of the field, and he loved the mice and the vermin in the barn, and he treated the rats like equals, which was right. And he loved the little children, and he loved everybody and everything in the whole world. Only he never let on, so nobody ever knowed it. Poor Judd is dead, poor Judd Fry is dead. His friends will weep and wail for miles around.
Miles around.
The daisies in the dell will give out a different smell, because poor Judd is underneath the ground.
Poor Judd is dead, a candle lights his head. He's laying in a coffin made of wood. And folks are feeling sad, 'cause they used to treat him bad. And now they know their friend has gone for good. Poor Judd is dead, a candle lights his head.
He's looking oh so pretty and so nice. He looks like he's asleep. It's a shame that he won't keep, but it's summer and we're running out of ice. Poor Judd, poor Judd. Yes, sir. That's the way it'd be. Sure be an interesting funeral, though. Wouldn't like to miss it.
Wouldn't like to miss it, eh? Well, maybe you will. Maybe you'll go first.
Maybe. Listen, where'd you work before you come up here? Up by Quapaw, wasn't it?
Yeah. Before that, over by Tulsa. Lousy they was to me. Both of them. Always making out they was better. Treating me like dirt.
What'd you do? Get even?
Who said anything about getting even?
No one that I recollect. Just coming to my head.
If it ever come to getting even with anybody, I'd know how to do it.
That?
Nah. Safer ways than that if you use your brains. Remember that fire on the Bartlett farm over by Sweetwater?
Sure do. About 5 years ago, terrible accident. Burnt up the father and mother and daughter.
There weren't no accident. Fella told me. A hired hand was stuck on the Bartlett girl. He found her in the hayloft with another fella.
And it was him that burned up the place.
Took him weeks to get all the kerosene, buying it at different times. A fella who told me made out like it happened in Missouri. But I knowed all the time it was the Bartlett farm. What a liar he was!
And a kind of a murderer too, wasn't he? Get a little air in here.
You ain't told me yet what business you had here. We ain't got no cattle to sell, and there are no cow ponies, and the old crop is done spoke for.
You sure relieved my mind considerable.
There's only one other thing on this farm you could want, and it better not be that.
But that's just what it is.
Better not be! You keep away from here!
You know, somebody ought to tell Laurie what kind of a man you are. For that matter, somebody ought to tell you once about yourself.
You better get out of here, Curly.
Fellow wouldn't feel very safe in here with you if he didn't know you. But I know you, Judd. In this country, there's two things you can do if you're a man. Live out of doors is one. Live in a hole is the other. Oh, I've sat out by my horse in the brush somewheres and heard a rattlesnake many a time. Rattle, 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 he'd go, scared to death. Somebody getting close to his hole, somebody gonna step on him. Get his old fangs ready, full of poison, just curl up and wait. Long as you live in a hole, you're scared. You got to have protection. You can have muscles like iron and still be as weak as an empty bladder, less'n you got things to barb your hide with. Well, how'd you get to be the way you are anyway, Judge, sitting here in this filthy hole of thinking the way you're thinking? Why don't you do something healthy once in a while instead of staying shut up here, a-crawling and a-festering? Ah! You ought to feel better now. Hard on the roof, though. I wish you'd let me show you something. There's a knot hole over there about as big as a dime. You see it a-winking? I just want to see if I can hit it. I bullet right through the knot hole without touching. Slick as a whistle, didn't I? I knowed I could do it. You saw it too, didn't you? Well, somebody's coming, I expect.
Who fired off a gun? You, Curly? Well, don't sit there, you lummy. Answer when you're spoke to.
Well, I shot once.
What was you shooting at?
See that knothole over there?
I see lots of knot holes.
Well, it was one of them.
Ain't you a pair of purty nothings pecking at knot holes and scaring everybody to death? I ought to give you a good Dutch rub and iron all the craziness out of you. It's all right. Nobody's hurt. Just a pair of nothings making noises.
You mind if I visit with you, gents? It's good to get away from the ladies for a while. Now then, we're all by ourselves. I got a few purties. Private knickknacks for to show you, special for the men folks.
I'll see you gentlemen later. I gotta get a surrey I hired for tonight.
Our postcards.
Who you think you're taking that serious?
Ain't Eller? And Laurie, if she'll go with me.
She won't.
Maybe she will.
Well, she promised to go with me, and she better not change her mind. She better not!
Now I want you to look at these, straight from Paris.
Don't want none of them things now. Got any frog stickers?
You mean one of them long knives? What would you want with a thing like that?
I don't know, kill a hog or a skunk. It's all the same, ain't it? Tell you what I like better than a frog sticker if you got one. Ever hear one of them things you call the little wonder? It's a thing you hold up to your eyes, see pictures. Only that ain't all there is to it. Not quite. See, it's got a little jig onto it. You touch it, out springs a sharp blade.
And a spring, eh?
You say, old fella, yeah, look through this. And then, when he's looking, you snap out the blade. It's just above his chest, and bang, down you come.
A good joke to play on a friend. I don't handle things like that, too dangerous. What I'd like to show you is my new stock of postcards.
Don't want none sick of them things. Gonna get me a real woman.
What do you want with a woman? Why, right now I'm having trouble with a woman. They always cause trouble, and you say you want one? Why? Look at you. You are a man what is free to come and go as he pleases. You got a nice, cozy little place. Private. Nobody to bother you. Artistic pictures, they don't talk back to you.
I'm tired of all these pictures of women.
So you're tired of them. So throw them away and buy some new ones. If you get tired of a woman, what can you do? Nothing. Just keep getting tireder and tireder.
I made up my mind.
So you want a real woman. Say, you don't happen to know a girl named Ado Annie?
I don't want her.
I don't want her either. But I got her.
Don't want nothing from no peddler. Want real things. Am I doing shit up here like that fella says? Crawling and festering? What am I doing in this lousy smokehouse? The floor creaks. The door squeaks. There's a field mouse nibbling on a broom. And I sit by myself like a cobweb on a shelf, by myself in a lonely room. But when there's a moon in my window, and it slants down a beam across my bed, and the shadow of the tree starts a dancing on the wall, and the dream starts a dancing in my head, and all the things that I wish for turn out like I want them to be. And I'm better than that smart aleck cowhand who thinks he is better than me. And the girl that I want ain't afraid of my arms, and her own soft arms keep me warm. And her long yellow hair falls across my face, just like the rain in a storm. The floor creaks, the door squeaks, and the mouse starts nibbling on a broom. And the sun flicks my eyes. It was all a pack of lies. I'm awake in a lonely room. I ain't gonna dream about her arms no more. I ain't gonna leave her alone. Going outside, get myself a bride. Get me a woman to call.